As the coronavirus spreads, the need for testing, boy, it continues to rise across the country. Here in North Carolina, efforts are underway to be sure everyone who needs to be tested can be tested. Tryon Medical Partners is opening its second remote testing location in the former Arts Barbecue at Moorhead Street in Charlotte. Dr. Dale Owen from Tryon Medical joins us now on the phone to talk about that location in particular. Dr. Owen, first of all, thank you for what you and your staff are doing. I'm sure it's taxing your staff, but we appreciate it. What resources will be available for patients at this specific location?
Well, we're going to test the people that need to be tested. I think that's the most important part. If patients have symptoms, and certainly if they're a little bit more than mild, we want to get them tested. We'll start with the influenza testing to make sure that that isn't the issue and treat it if that's the problem. It takes about 20 minutes for that to come back, and then if that's negative, then we'll proceed with the coronavirus testing. And an occasional person has actually shown up with strep throat.
Wow. So do you have enough tests at your location?
We do. We have plenty of tests available from our location. We have both the tests that can take as long as 3 to 4 days, and we also have a new batch of the test that's about a 30-hour turnaround time.
Why, for folks so they hear that the difference is 3 to 5 days and 30 hours, what is the difference? Is it just how these are made and how they need to be analyzed?
That's exactly right. They're actually different types of tests. The one that's 30 days actually looks at several different types of viruses and bacteria, types of genetic pieces that it can find, and it can identify multiple things. Whereas the one that takes several days needs to be incubated appropriately on ice and takes several days longer.
All right, so what do patients need to do or know before coming to these remote testing locations?
Well, I think at first we were saying that patients needed to be a Tryon Medical patient. They don't have to be, but we just need to get them registered so that we can see them. We like to assess the patient, and so we'll ask them to call in our office, and our triage department will set them up an appointment to do so and drive by one of the 2 locations we have in Matthews or there on Moorhead at the previous Arts Barbecue. And then we're also open for people who drive up as well.
So when you began your career, did you ever dream that you'd be taking over a barbecue restaurant and doing remote locations for testing for something like this?
No, because I used to go there all the time at Arts, take my kids there and so forth, and, have a good hot dog and so forth. But that's those days are over. It's been open since I think it was 1976, but no one would have dreamed of doing this.
All right, so how many patients do you hope you can serve, and do you think we'll see more of these?
Well, I think that the initial pent-up demand was pretty significant, and we were seeing upwards of 80 patients a day. Now it's about 50 patients a day, and I think that we'll see that lull continue a little bit until a couple of weeks from now, when we see more of the effects of the long-term effect of the coronavirus. I think there'll be gradually more deaths, unfortunately, and we're sort of new at this in Charlotte, and we haven't seen all the ravages of this virus yet. And I think that as soon as that type of thing starts happening more, we will also probably see a lot more people wanting to get tested.
Well, that is a sobering assessment, no question about that. Dr. Dale Owen with Tryon Medical Partners, I know you need to get back to work. Thank you so much for what you're doing and for your time this afternoon. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
All right, so there you go. Opening up remote testing facilities to increase access to testing for all patients who need it during this pandemic. For information on when you should get tested or where you can head to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's website. And to keep up with the latest news and information throughout this outbreak, you can visit SpectrumLocalNews.com.